Psi Access, May 10, 2024. Welcome to the Neuroverse, the launch of a new 501c3 at the intersection of space science and neurodiversity. Jessica Schonhut Stasik.
Hi everyone, I'm Jess Schonhut Stasik. I'm a white British girl with pink hair. I'm wearing a green top today, and I'm on the deck of the Starship Discovery as my background. I look as tired as I am because I just got off a 5-night observing shift here on Hawaii Island on Mauna Kea. So I'm sorry that I'm so exhausted, but I'm really excited to be here. And I was just thinking, as Anna was talking, that it was at this conference in 2021 that I first had the idea for what is now the Neuroverse. And so thank you, Anna, for that. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about a new nonprofit called the Neuroverse Initiative. I am the founder and director. I'm also a doctoral candidate in astrophysics at Vanderbilt University, the program and communications manager at the Frist Center for Autism and Innovation, and I will be talking about that later again. And I'm also a self-advocate. I have autism, ADHD, and OCD. And that's all these things together are what encouraged me to start this venture. So for those of you who might need support in seeing this, on the right-hand side of my presentation is the logo for the Neuroverse. It is a white triangle with a purple outline, a kind of etched image of a brain in the middle, and then a pink circle around it. So I just want to first share the mission. So this nonprofit is focusing on the intersection of neurodiversity and space science. I will do my best to define space science here because I think it's important that we do. It's not just astronomy research, we're also focusing on engineering, both academic positions, federal departments like NASA, aerospace, essentially anything you can think of that relates to the science of space falls under the umbrella of the Neuroverse. So as long as it's neurodiversity or space or both, it is absolutely welcome here. The mission is that at TNI, we are committed to advancing neuroinclusion in space science through training, research, and advocacy. We believe that the space sciences should be accessible to all, and that a diversity of minds will only accelerate our discovery and understanding of the universe. So I'll go through these three kind of key points I put here: training, research, and advocacy, and talk about some of the programs we're going to be launching. So, oh, I didn't mean to do transitions, but they're very pretty. Okay, so this slide here just shows our three main kind of focus areas for the nonprofit. I'm calling them the galaxies because the Neuroverse is kind of the universe of it, and then there's these three galaxies in there, and sometimes they merge, but there's a lot going on. I'm trying to think of a good astronomy analogy. So the first one is training. So TNI is committed to training students, faculty, and all members of the space science community in neuro-inclusive practices by providing education on neurodiversity, promoting understanding, and encouraging acceptance. So this kind of area stemmed from my own experience. I wasn't diagnosed with my neurodivergence until I was 27. I'm 33 now. Late diagnosis is, as I'm sure everyone's aware, very common for women. You know, because of lack of access and also masking. And it caused my ability to succeed in graduate school to really suffer, should I say. Now I have an incredibly supportive and accommodating advisor, and I'm able to thrive. I'm able to realize my strengths and to really excel within what I do, which is astrophysics, galactic archaeology. So some of the programs that we want to run in this area are things like going into academic departments and training faculty, training about mentorship, training around accommodations and services. The first program we're launching actually soon will be a collaboration with another nonprofit called Spectrum, which is not specific to autism actually, but is run by a friend of mine, a fellow astronomy graduate called Natasha Latouf. which focuses on mentoring. So this is going to be the form of kind of virtual support networks for graduate students in the space sciences. If anyone's interested in that, I am going to have all the contact information and everything at the end here. The second area that we want to focus on is research. TNI aims to improve our understanding of the neurodivergent population and their experiences and impact in the space sciences through peer-reviewed research. The kind of idea for this came from the fact that we really don't, the body of research around neurodivergence is growing and the research being done is very good, but I often find that, especially within the corporate space, we hear a lot of statistics about kind of unemployment or retention that are kind of just these numbers that are thrown around. And there's a lack of very rigorous peer review research in that space. And when you're going to ask for grants or, can you fund this program? Agencies say, well, tell me about the demographics. So we really want to start producing more and more rigorous research into this particular intersection, STEM or space science with neurodivergence. I'm working on a scoping review right now with one of my board members, who I'll introduce in a second on the next slide, to look at the kind of experiences of belonging for ND students in STEM undergraduates. Another kind of arm of the research, which I've spent some time talking to Anna about and I'm very excited about, is the idea of accessibility in space for people who are neurodivergent. So specifically thinking about kind of assistive technologies that could help with sensory issues in space. Obviously, going to space is not a very low sensory endeavor. So that kind of research as well. And then finally, we've got advocacy. So this is TNI being dedicated to improving the world for the neurodivergent community within the space science fields by conducting outreach programs, promoting education, and advocating for inclusivity. So this is essentially what it says it is, outreach activities, kind of trying to move the needle on the public understanding of neurodiversity, particularly when it particularly in STEM, right? To kind of remove these preconceived notions about the I guess Sheldon Coopers of the community and see that actually neurodivergence is incredibly broad and there are places for everyone to fit. So the next slide I have, I know I'm kind of running out of time. So this is my board. I'll just go through them quickly because it's just such a fantastic team. So Dave Thompson is my secretary and another director. He is a strategic consultant at Potentia, which is a company that works in the neurodiversity space to go into kind of the corporate world and train for neurodiversity, etc. Just excellent, because I'm scared of that part of the world, the corporate space. Then we've got Olivia Green, a fellow astrophysics graduate student at Vanderbilt University. She's the treasurer. And then the other three directors are Jessie Wang, Mike Reynolds, and Seven Rasmussen. Jessie is in the special education department at Vanderbilt. Her interests or her specialty is intersectionality within special education, which is obviously ideal here for this. Mike is a physics graduate student who has a lot of experience in organizing. And then Seven is a faculty at Tacoma Community College and author. Her book is coming out next year, Life in Seven Numbers, which is an exploration of the Drake equation. I'm really excited about that. A year ahead and I'm already excited. And there's some of our partners there on the top as well. So what I've got on this last slide is just every single way you could physically contact us, including a QR code, a link tree. So as I said, this is really a very new venture. We're still waiting on our paperwork. That's how new it is. But I really wanted to use this platform, use this opportunity to share it and to kind of express that I want to have conversations, because neurodivergence is very divergent. Our community is very broad, and I want as many voices and as many community members to be involved as possible. I want to know what programs you'd like us to run. I want to know what how you'd like to support if you want to, or what we can do to support you, and just really start to grow this community of space science and neuroinclusion to be the great community that it already is, but even better. So thank you so much. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jess. We do have one question here for you
Okay.
Mark says, one of the issues I deal with is sensory overload. How can this be addressed?
Right. So that's a good question. It's also very broad. If we're talking about, I imagine that question came up because I mentioned the accessibility in space kind of research area. That is a question that I would love answering because I have sensory issues and I want to go to space, and space is very, at least launching to space and landing from space are very overwhelming, I imagine. So it would be a matter of assistive technologies that would be appropriate in that scenario. And I don't know what they are. That's why we do the research. And I think it would also just be a great platform to actually do these do studies on assistive technologies generally, because if, for instance, a pair of noise cancelling headphones works well in space, it's going to work anywhere, you know, or launching to space, should I say. Obviously, there's no sound in space. Yeah.
Sci Access. Learn more at www.sciaccess.org.